It is consistently in the 60s and 70s here, so that means we can talk about the best winter fragrances of winter 2025. I have 10 of them. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And these I'm Marie here. Yes, we're doing the best fragrances for winter because it's over with at this point. Ain't no more frost going on, ain't no more snow alerts, none of that. We're into florals, happiness, birds are chirping, all of that. Lipstick of the day today, everyone. We are rocking out with MAC Mega Magenta, which is this type of pinky purple kind of color is how I describe it. I'm loving it. It actually matches my nails. I kind of did that by accident, but hey, it works out. I'm in the spring mood. That's what we are in. Beauty details and everything I talk about in this video will be in the description box below, so you do not have to ask questions about it. Next up, we have fragrance of the day, and I'm super excited about this one because we now have the full size bottle of it, and this is from Victoria Beckham's fragrance line, and this is Portofino 97. You all saw my video on this. I did a whole overview on the collection of all 4 fragrances. Check it out if you haven't already. But yes, this was the one I deemed the best and the one I deemed a star, and that's why it got upgraded from a sample to a full-size bottle. And that again is Victoria Beckham's Portofino 97. And now let's get into these best winter fragrances for 2025. I'm gonna go ahead and start out with my baby. This is one I am still obsessed with now. This is going on 2 years now, and this one is still just so good. From the House of Guerlain, you all, and this is Tobacco Honey. You all know how I feel about this scent. I've done this dedicated review already, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. But Tobacco Honey, this right here, as the name suggests, is literally tobacco and honey. You gotta love honey for this one because it is so prominent. It's thick. I feel like I'm inside of a beehive, and it makes me so happy. The tobacco in here is nice too. It's not overly smoky. It's not too heavily done to the point it goes ashtray. This right here is how you do tobacco with sweetness. This one right here is perfectly unisex, and I love this one. It turns heads. This one was my holiday scent, my going out scent. I cannot stress Tobacco Honey enough. If you all recall my story on when I picked this bottle up, I actually had went in to pick up Tonka Imperial. This was back before it got discontinued, but the sales associate told me that Tobacco Honey had just came out. She's like, no, you gotta smell it. She's like, I know what you came for, but trust me, you need to smell this and love it first sniff. So that love is still going on now for 2 years, and I cannot stress Tobacco Honey enough. Honey, cloves, anise, tobacco, vanilla, tonka, a little bit of oud in here too. This is a masterpiece for me. This is a top 10 for life type of scent for me. But most importantly, it made the list of best winter fragrances for winter 2025. And that again is Guerlain's Tobacco Honey. Next up, we have this one I've talked about so much about because I have a ton of scent memories with it at this point. And this is Bond Number 9's Chelsea Nights. One of the best going out bonds, just period. One of the best cold weather bonds and one of the best night on the town type of bond fragrances for me. So let's get into it, you all. Saffron, cocoa, absolute. We got tuberose, myrrh, cedarwood, oud in here, vanilla, suede, and amber. This is excellent. This right here is interesting because of the cocoa note and the saffron, how they did this, but the oud in here too, it adds an extra oomph to this scent. Perfectly unisex, by the way, but for me, it needs to be cold and I need to be going out. This is a nighttime scent. It's very rare that I wear this one in the daytime. You all know this, but yes, Chelsea Nights, one of the best to have come out as of lately from Bond. Now they have since released several new ones. In fact, they just released a new green one that just came out for St. Patrick's Day. I saw. I'm gonna have to get my nose on that one too. The Gold Street, the one. So they've been on a roll, but I can't stress Chelsea Nights enough because this was another love at first sniff. When I smelled it at a Bond counter, I knew it was gonna end up in my collection, and I was like, I need it. I need this one, had to have it, did not wait for a discount, none of that. I needed it that bad, and I still feel that way about Chelsea Nights. So yes, one of the best fragrances for winter 2025. Bond Number 9's Chelsea Nights. Full dedicated review is already up on the channel as well, so definitely check that out. Now this next fragrance came out right around the holiday season. Was it Thanksgiving? So right before we went into true winter, and this one definitely stole my heart. It's been a staple and a love solid win. This is from Kayali, you all, and this is Young Bougie Marshmallow 81. This scent right here, completely worth the hype. because this is one of those fragrances that, yes, when it first comes out, it's like, oh yeah, something new, something new. We know the normal hype train. I get it. We know how this goes in fragrance community. However, when you're still reaching for it months later, and in fact, after something else has come out from the house, and technically we're supposed to have moved on and everything, but you're still reaching for it, that means you really like it. And for me, that's how I feel about Young Bougie Marshmallow. I've enjoyed reaching for this one. This was a favorite in February. I mean, it's powdery pink, baby pink, plus it just smells like strawberries, this powdery sugar. It just fit the mood and the vibe of February, and this has just been delicious. It's so delicious. Key notes are freezer strawberry, pink marshmallow, creamy coconut, whipped vanilla, and pink musk. Again, powdered strawberry sugar goodness is what this is. And it turns heads. This is an uplift in a bottle, a pick-me-up in a bottle. And this was just one of my favorites for winter that I was actually able to enjoy and wear throughout the whole season. So there's that. Kayali did that thing with this one. And that again is Young Bougie Marshmallow number 81. I've already done this full dedicated review and compared it to other scents and things as well. So definitely check that video out if you want to know more about this scent. Next up, this one is a tried and true staple in the fragrance community, has been so for years. I have sampled it on and off for years as well, but I finally committed to a full-size bottle during the fall, so I had it for all of winter. That's how I know I really enjoyed this one, because I was reaching for it. And this is from the house of Maison Francis Kirk de Jean, Paris, of course, and this is Grand Soir. This is one of those fragrances, whether you love it or hate it, you've heard of it, you know what it is. This is MFK's take on an ambery vanilla scent is what it is. Of course, there's labdanum in here. There's also lavender, benzoin, vanilla tonka and stuff, but ambery goodness. This is unisex, slightly leaning masculine, and I've stated that in this dedicated review too, by the way. But the dry down for me is what still makes this more of a unisex scent. Because at opening, I will admit, was giving man at first, but everybody kept saying, wait on the dry down. Finally gave in, of course. I had a sample to really test and play in, and then I bought the bottle, and I was like, oh, this is everything. And the scent trail of this one hugs a sweater and a scarf like nobody's business, and the trail it leaves in the wind and your scent bubble around you, everything. Completely worth the hype over the years, and I'm here to co-sign. And this one was a favorite again for winter 2025 for me, and that again is MFK's Grand Soir. Excellent. Now, everything can be heavy hitting for winter. Sometimes, you know, we need a break. Sometimes you just want something a little bit more on the fresher side, a little fresher, relaxing, clean side. And for me, that was this scent. Mojave Ghost from Byredo absolutely was one of my favorites for winter. This is an oldie but goodie, a bestseller from the house. This is one of those staple fragrances from the house of Byredo, because if you haven't heard of nothing else, you've definitely heard of Mojave Ghost. Even if you don't like it, you know what it is. This is one, it doesn't smell like anything else, super unique, but it just is effective and it garners compliments, and it just fit the vibe for when I was feeling more chill, truly sweatpants, relaxed, not really doing much, you know, because it was cold and didn't want to go anywhere, just want to eat snacks and watch an old movie or your favorite comfort show. Mine is The Office. I will watch The Office on Comedy Central just over and over, like I haven't already seen every episode. But hey, that's the point of a comfort show. But anywho, back to the fragrance though. Mojave Ghost though, y'all, we have amber, raspberry, magnolia, sandalwood, and violet in here. And then we also have cedarwood, musk, and vetiver. I've done this dedicated review, and even with reading the notes, all of that sounds great and all, but this is just one of those scents you just gotta test it and wear it on you. It's just one of those. And if it clicks, it clicks, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. For me, this was a love at first sniff, and I finally caved in. What was that, a year or two ago? Bought the full-size bottle, and I'm still reaching for it. So that says something. It used to be more of just a summer scent, but then this year it became a winter fragrance for me. So I'm like, okay, clearly this is a scent you can wear whenever. But it brought me joy in the winter time. So yeah, Byredo's Mojave Ghost. You had to make the list. Now this next fragrance had a total redemption story for me, because at first I felt it was way too strong. But you know, that's why we hold on to our samples, because our opinions can change. And the next fragrance is also from the house of MFK, Maison Francis Kirk de Jean, and this is Oud Satin Mood, the extract version. Yes, you all know I do have the original version. I've already reviewed that one. Love it. That is a certified love for me. And then not too long ago, I had got a sample, y'all, of this extract version. Y'all, I smelled it in the dead of summer. It is like nuclear. And when I tell you one spray was enough, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But this is why we try scents in different seasons, because sometimes that's what it takes for a scent to click. Plus I knew I loved the original, so I'm like, okay, I feel like I would really like this extract. Let me give it another shot, right? Did that, and y'all, this was everything in the wintertime. This is a winter fragrance for me. Not no maybe on a warm day. This is a winter fragrance because this is so strong, but I like that it's strong. I even wore it to a gala and everything, and it was a certified hit. It just fit the occasion. Special occasion scent. That's what this is. Special occasion, dressed up, wintertime, Oud Satin Mood, extract version. So you all, we have notes of violet, geranium, cinnamon, cardamom, rose, a lot of rose in here, damask rose and Turkish rose. And then we also have oud, of course, heavy on the oud, vanilla, amber, benzoin, And some more cedarwood, y'all. The oud in here is ouding. Like the original version is already strong, but let me tell you, the extra version said, oh, that's cute, we're gonna take it up a notch. And that's what it did. So I was here for the extraness, and this is why this one was a certified hit and a favorite for winter. And this is, again, is MFK's Oud Satin Mood, the extra version. Now this next one was so controversial because boy, people hated this one when it came out. It was so polarizing, but this one came out right at the end of summer. It was technically a fall release, but it was so hot when it came out that ruined the experience for a lot of people. This is one of those fragrances that you need to come back to when it was actually cold, because in the winter, this was everything. Much better experience. Burberry Goddess, the intense version. This one was a winter scent, hear me out. Winter fragrance again, because when we first smelled it, I remember it. I remember going, it was hot that day, going to Sephora. I was like, oh, this is horrible, it's dirty. And you all know, I did my first impressions when I sampled a whole lot of the new fall releases. I was in that camp. Then I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it another try. And I was like, oh, they made this one for the winter. That's just the best way to put it. Lavender, a whole bunch of vanillas in the middle, and then patchouli in the base. The patchouli is there and it is prominent, but to me, the vanillas over time, because it's like 4 types of vanilla in here, they help to better smooth out everything and better blend out everything. It just works better with the cold air. So this was one very much enjoyed. This is an elevated experience, a richer experience from the original. I appreciate that because this is an intense after all, and this did live up to the name of intense. But most importantly, this was an excellent winter fragrance. And that's why it makes my list for it's like being a new release, but one that came out kind of sort of at the wrong time and it became better later on. So this was one of those scents that had a redemption story in the wintertime for me. And that's why it was a favorite for winter 2025. Burberry Goddess, the intense version. Now this next one, you all knew it was coming because this one was excellent. I did not expect to like this one. But you all, Dolce & Gabbana, the intense version. This one was amazing for wintertime. And you all know, I'm not really a gourmand girly like that. I'm not heavy on that train. But if something is good, I'm gonna give it its props. And that was this one. Hazelnut, orange blossom, and vanilla. That's all that's in this scent, but this is what you call simple but effective. The fact that they switched out the lemon note in the original with the hazelnut, for me, did wonders for this scent because as you see, your girl got the big bottle. This one is yummy. The vanilla in here is rich, it's sweet, it's cozy. This was a date night scent. This was head elf approved, just all of it. This one was just fun. I enjoyed wearing this one and it hugged some clothes and fabric very well. So I had no issues with this scent. This was a good, easy reach, cozy vanilla because you gotta have a true vanilla on a winter list. You just do. This was that. This was a good vanilla scent to me. Gourmand vanilla, let me say that. Because my Burberry Goddess one, that was more on a vanilla patchouli, but this one is gourmand vanilla. So to round things out, you all, this is Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion Intense. Oh, wait a minute, I still got 2 more fragrances to go. But you all, let me tell you, this next one was a breath of fresh air because as we know, cherry is still a thing and cherry ain't going nowhere. She's still that girl. And this was a fun, happy, juicy scent I could get behind. And this is Clean Reserve's Whipped Cherry. This was such a happy scent. This was cherry, coconut, and pineapple. And there's also praline in this one. So this wasn't just the straight up linear cherry that we've come to know that everybody has done at this point. This one was different. This one was fun. This was playful, slightly gourmand touch, and it was just juicy. I have done a dedicated review on whipped cherry, so definitely check it out. But for like a happy, fruity scent, this was that for the wintertime for me. So that again is Clean Reserve's Whipped Cherry. So the last scent of my favorite winter scents for 2025, you all, this one right here. I think y'all knew this was coming though. And this was Creed's Queen of Silk because I've talked so much about this scent ever since it got cold. Y'all know this. So this one right here, Queen of Silk, you all. We have notes of passion fruit, tuberose, of course, oud in here. Ooh, this is so strong. Ooh, this is strong. I do not need to spray this unless I know I'm going somewhere. Y'all, there's also vanilla and Brox and myrrh, musk, and cedarwood in here. This is a beast mode scent. Now this one, even though it was beast mode, I still enjoyed wearing it a little bit more regularly than say my Oud Satin Mood Extra. That's a whole lot of oud. The fruits and the florals in here help to better balance out the oud in here for me. So that's why this one was a little bit more of a dressy casual, shall we say. I would reach for this one a little bit more for this when I wanted a oud scent that's heavy hitting. But all in all, y'all, Creed's Queen of Silk was truly that girl. I have done this dedicated review already on the channel. Definitely check it out. You were a winter fragrance. Now you came out spring, summer, which was horrible because I could not do it then. But in the wintertime, cold weather, yeah, everything. Queen of Silk, y'all. So all right, everyone, that wraps up the best fragrances for winter 2025. These were the favorites. These were the ones that did what needed to be done, and then most importantly, brought me the most joy. Let me know, what were your favorites for winter? Let me know how we're closing things out, because yes, spring is knocking at the door, and yeah, it's time to do all the spring content. But of course, we have to round out winter. Let me know what you think, you all, in the comments below. I will read them and respond when I can. And yeah, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.